What military aid has the United States sent to help in the effort in the Israel war that's going on right now? And this massive outbreak that literally just started a couple days ago, what financial burden has the United States taken on in support of either side? And are they picking sides? Or are they secretly funding both sides of this war? Because we know the United States generally has an economic boost after some kind of war that they get involved in. So, hours after the deadly attack, I don't know how to pronounce this word, Hamas, so I'm not going to try and butcher it too many times. Attack inside Israel, the United States President Joe Biden promised rock-solid and unwavering support to its closest ally in the Middle East. Washington, which provides about $3 billion in annual military aid to Israel, has ordered the movement of military ships and aircraft closer to Israel as a show of support. So, not much has changed as of now as of terms of funding, right? We generally send over $3 billion of aid annually as is. So they're just moving everything closer to make a stand so that everyone knows, hey, we don't fuck with this. Like, stop. What are you doing? What's good, TikTok? We're live on YouTube as well, so if you want to come over to the YouTube live stream, you can see the screen. We're going to do some live trading after this, but I want to discuss this because this has massive implications on realistically everyone's life. I mean, you can see the news all over the United States, pretty much worldwide right now, is focused entirely on what's going on over there in Israel. But I have some questions, right? Because the United States is not known for being the most genuine and altruistic side of everything. So how is the other side of what's going on getting funding? Because there's a public-facing narrative, and then there's always the private-facing narrative. And so I did some digging, and according to this Hindustan Times, Hamas funding Israel war due to Biden's deal? Question mark. Spotlight on U.S.-Iran prisoner swap and $6 billion. So, if you were unaware, recently, the United States paid $6 billion to get 5 prisoners back from Iran. Iran is supposedly funding the Hamas invasion into Israel. So a lot of people are trying to piece it together, or at least this one article is trying to piece it together, stating that that $6 billion deal is what is funding this invasion, because it was unfrozen in September, and then a couple months later we have this outbreak. Supposedly none of the funds have moved, even though those 5 prisoners are back in the United States, which is a little bit interesting to me because I don't see the other side of any kind of deal like that accepting, like giving up their leverage without actually receiving what they asked for in return, right? That doesn't make too much sense to me, but I don't know enough about it to actually say anything. I just know that we did just give $6 billion to Iran, and now Iran is funding an invasion into Israel. It would not be out of the ordinary for the United States to try and profit off of a war. This is not a foreign concept to us, right? This is not something that would be new. In fact, many times throughout history, the United States has gotten involved in wars to kind of boost and bolster the economy. It does cause a lot of inflation, but we'll get into that in a moment. I mean, you guys are fully aware, the United States, the Defense Department has remaining approval to send $5.4 billion worth of military equipment to Ukraine through Presidential Drawdown Authority. It has about $1.6 billion on hand now to replenish its own stock after sending those weapons and munitions. So the war in Ukraine that's been going on for a couple years now, the United States has been sending support to Ukraine in the form of military weapons that has been chilling, that we just haven't been using too much. Now they're replenishing those reserves that we sent over there, but there's been a lot of support overseas in Ukraine. The United States has been sending constant money over there, so they are funding the destruction of Ukraine to some capacity, or the defense of Ukraine rather. Hey, what's good? Thank you for that, Uber guy. Let's go. If you guys want to see the screens that I'm showing you guys, come over to the YouTube live stream. I appreciate you guys being here. Should pop up the chat for YouTube. I forgot to have that up here. What's good, Dream? So part of the destruction of Ukraine has been funded through the United States, providing the ability to defend themselves, right? Which is fine. I'm not here to say if that's good or bad at all. I'm not here to give my input on any kind of moral judgment here. I'm simply saying that we are giving money that is impacting the destruction of a country, and at the same time, once that destruction has begun, companies like BlackRock, JP Morgan, and McKinsey come in and fund the reconstruction of that devastated country. So on both sides, United States-based companies come in and try and turn a profit off of war. I haven't seen you online lately. I know. I've been online constantly. I've been online on YouTube. I've been going here consistently because on TikTok, in order for me to maintain this as something that I do consistently, I have to take on sponsorships, which are not spectacular because then I'm not able to just voice myself as much as I want to. Whereas on YouTube, I don't have to do that. If I can manage to grow YouTube to a point in which I can not take sponsorships, I would much rather do that. So if you want to come over and support the channel, feel free to come over. Subscription, let's go, AZ. Let's go, Uber guy, let's go. Thank you for that. I appreciate the subscription over here. Cheers to that. So all this got me thinking, right? We're openly supporting Israel as far as the United States is concerned, and then potentially backdoor funding the invasion of Israel, potentially. You can't confirm that. We get into conspiracy theories. You guys know I'm a conspiracy theorist. I'm fine with that. I enjoy myself a good conspiracy. Oftentimes they get proven correct, or at least the ones that I pay attention to. At the same time that we are funding some war activities, BlackRock is already involved in Israel, right? BlackRock is a global company, so there's a pretty decently high potential that BlackRock comes in after all this destruction and starts funding the rebuilding of Israel. So I don't know, guys. It's just worth considering. It's just worth all the things considered. If they're going to make money off of it, we should try and make some money off of it as well. All right? Obviously, have your own moral lines in the sand and don't cross those lines no matter what. But war is going to happen and we need to eat. So just as long as I'm not investing directly into the companies that are funding the destruction of places and funding death, I feel like I'm okay with that. Investing into index funds or Bitcoin and having it move, investing off the predicate that it's going to move because of these wars is different than investing directly into the wars. So if we look at the history of war and the index funds and the markets and make some investing decisions off that, all the power to us. Dream over here, sending roses. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Also conspiracy theorist. Hell yeah. Thank you for those. Right here. Okay, so if we go, this chart here goes all the way back into 1940 when Germany invades France. What is it? It is the stocks. It's a chart showing the recovery and the max drawdown of the stock market after massive headline invasions, okay? So all the way back in the 1940s, you can see when Germany invades France, 1 week we have a negative 13%, 1 month we have negative 25%, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. So that was pretty awful, but that was also right at the time of World War II. World War II was a several year long devastation leading into a Great Depression, right? If you look at the remaining times, you'll see for the most part, 1 week into it, it's a coin toss. You could go up, you could go down. No one knows what's going to happen 1 week into the invasions. 1 month into headlines about war, you often see a 0.4% decline. 66% of the time, you get positive returns, but the mean is a negative 0.4. Once you get 3 months out, it is almost always positive returns. You almost always see the markets going back up. Once you get 6 months out, the mean is a 5% increase, and then a year out is usually 12.3% increase. That's pretty dramatic. I think the proof is point blank right there. The last time we had this happen was in February. Russia invades Ukraine. You see, 1 week the market went up 0.8%, 1 month it went up 1%, 3 months it went up 2.6%, 6 months was 8.3%, and then 1 year after that invasion, the market was up 14.7%. It's pretty powerful that war is generally a good thing for the US stock market over the long term. If you can expand your horizons a little bit, it's usually a good thing, which is kind of gross, but it just is what it is, right? So let's go look. Let's go see how the markets are reacting to this news. So it started happening yesterday. This is the S&P 500. The S&P 500 had been on a pretty sizable decline for a good chunk of time here. So over 68 days, we saw the S&P 500 go down 8.4%, which is huge. That is a very large decline. I'm a flat earth believer. Oh God. 8.4% is massive. Okay. For an index, that's a very large amount. And then after the invasion news, we saw a 2.8% rally over the last 2 days. So just immediately you see the market starting to come back to life after this news broke out. If we go to the NASDAQ, we'll see what they're doing. The NASDAQ is also rallying. The NASDAQ was a little bit more aggressive of a drawdown, so it was negative 9.5% over 70 days. And then since this invasion, just this week, we see a 3.46% rally in the 2 days. Let's go look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's doing the exact opposite, okay? Interestingly enough, Bitcoin is not doing what the market was doing, the stock market. It is decoupling. So over 21 days, we saw Bitcoin rally 14%. If we go back to this wick from before, you'll see that over 46 days, Bitcoin was up 16%. And then since this news of the invasion, Bitcoin has dropped 2% in 2 days. So kind of having an inverse reaction right here. Kind of having an inverse to what the NASDAQ and the S&P 500 have been doing. We're going to look at crude oil futures here as well, because crude oil and the dollar have been on massive run-ups, and this has pretty large impacts on the market. You have to remember that even though Bitcoin's not been rallying aggressively, even though the stock market has been declining for 2 months, give or take, there's always going to be a bull market somewhere. Always. Because that money has to go somewhere. There's always going to be a bull rally somewhere in the market. The money never just disappears. I know people say like the Fed is drying up liquidity, and the Fed is sucking out a little bit of money. But even if you look at the M2 supply, it's not a lot of money that's being pulled out of the market. It's just being pulled out of where you guys invest, where we invest, right? You look, the dollar's been on a rally. Oil's been on a rally. A lot of different currencies have been moving in tandem. So the last 2 days after this invasion, oil is up 5%. That is dramatic for oil. Crude oil does not usually move like that, right? We go look at the VIX even. Well, I don't want to look at the VIX just yet, but crude oil does not usually move like that. We're seeing a rally. Crude oil bottomed back in March of 2023. So back in March this year, we had a bottom. Now crude oil is up 35% from there. In 200 days, crude oil is up 35%. You can think, the way that I like to look at oil and a lot of commodities is just the foundation of our economy, right? So if crude oil is running, everything that is derived from crude oil is going to run as well. That even, believe it or not, if you've been following me on TikTok for any period of time, that even includes food prices, because some food is derived from crude oil. As disgusting as that sounds, some food comes from crude oil. So food products, or food additives, I should say. So if crude oil runs, the price of everything is going to run. And crude oil has been running. We can also go look at the DXY, which is just the dollar index. We're just going to visit these before we actually go look at the market and see if we can't make some trades and take some money from it. Somebody asked me, Cody, who's your favorite vampire? I said the one from Sesame Street. Yeah, I love that. Sent in Earth. Let's go, Uber guy. They said he doesn't count. I hate you. Can't ship anything without oil. Yeah, that's included. Can't ship a thing without oil. TikTok, if you guys want to see the screen, come over to YouTube. The link is in my bio. I'd appreciate the support over there. We got 309 subscribers, so we're trucking along. So the dollar had been on a rally for 11 weeks in a row. And then last week we closed the week on a little red Doja Cat candle, right? The Doji. Paid with pips. Thank you for those roses. Which broke the streak. And then this week it looks like we might see another red week. It's only 2 days in, so this could go either way, but that is usually a topping candle. So it'll be interesting to see how that exactly plays out. If we did not have a sizable correction in the dollar, that would be one of the most insane rallies. I mean, either way, that was a very, very strong rally for the dollar and had a pretty big reason why everything was selling off. Last thing I'm going to look at here is just the bonds real quick. I want to show you guys that the bonds are still behaving very, very weird, right? Investors during times of uncertainty like to flee to bonds, and we're seeing that. So over the last 2 days, the SHI, which is the 1 to 3 year treasury bond, has started ripping a little bit. And if we go to the long end of the yield curve, so the 20-year plus, that is also starting to rip. So that is, believe it or not, that's a good thing. That means when bond prices go up, the yields are going down, okay? So act as if it's a rate cut, right? Bond prices going up, yields go down. Yields are just rates. So the war is making yields come down a little bit. It's because everyone's going to be borrowing money. That's not sustainable. So cool. We've established that. We're going to try and make some money. We're going to try and see if we can't take a little bit of liquidity out of this market. I'm currently short on Aave and I'm short on Solana. I believe that these two are range bound and are likely coming down. Solana, I think I got a solid 10 or 11% gains on a swing trade. And Aave, I believe, is similar. Aave is a little bit more. Aave is closer to 15%. So I'm looking for it to come down to $53. So I think those will be good swing trades. It's a little bit of my portfolio so that the rest can be for day trades. If we look at Ethereum, Ethereum recently just had a breakdown. Ethereum recently just broke support. So I'm looking to be kind of bearish on Ethereum for a little bit. We might see it find support down here at 1500 as a whole number. But other than that, I think we're probably going straight down to that 1325 region. Right around here, I'm imagining we will find some levels of support. Not there, not there. Up a little bit higher. Right up here. We'll see. I'm not going to keep that line on the chart though, because I got a lot of lines on the chart. I think it'll probably find an intersection with this trend line. Bitcoin, I do have a very bearish tendency on. We're kind of seeing the beginning of a head and shoulders formation. Not exactly a picture perfect head and shoulders, but with everything going on, I think in the short term we'll see a good pullback. You can actually come look at two different charts here I wanted to show you guys. Hey, what's good, you guys? Happy to see you and all here. Supposedly oil's from dinosaurs. We can talk about that if you want. Oil is not from dinosaurs. Oil is from supercharged plankton that existed on the planet when our ozone layer wasn't super strong. So the radiation from the sun came down, hit the plankton, they became supercharged, then they were fossilized, and now we have oil from them. So we don't have that capability anymore. Not dinosaurs. They call it fossil fuels. It has nothing to do with fossils. It was just a psyop that everyone had. It's just a massive psyop. So this, I found this because of Josh. So Bitcoin Live book map. This is liquidation heat map. So over here on the left side of it, you'll see the brighter yellow these bands are, the more open interest is at that level. So while we're in a low liquidity market, you can rely on the market makers to send us to those liquidation levels. They're gonna wanna take as much liquidity from the market. I mean, that's what we're trying to do as well. We're trying to take liquidity from this market. So market makers, when they can easily manipulate the market, they're going to. Everyone does it. It's no different than in the traditional stock market. If they can manipulate, they will manipulate. So with this, you can see a massive band down here, massively yellow, meaning Bitcoin's probably going to come down and hit these liquidation lines. It's probably going to come down to $27,200 to hit these large liquidation levels. $27,150. It's a better explanation. Hell yeah. Oil's the Earth's blood. It's the Earth's lubrication, so we don't get a ton of earthquakes. No, I just made that one up. I don't know if that's true. You can also come look at signals. This will give you a more in-depth and more, like, we can't do anything to this YouTube live stream. It's Bitcoin Live Bookmap plus liquidation heat map. We can't really do anything about this. Like, we can't manipulate it, but we can for signals. So if you look at signals, this is Bitcoin on the 1 hour chart. You'll see that there's a good amount of open orders, naked point of controls, and EIs above Bitcoin. So it's possible that we do, on the shorter time frame, see a pump up to 28,300. But on the longer time frame, we are likely coming straight back down. I don't see any open orders down here on Bitcoin from signals. So that's interesting. Maybe if we look at a longer time frame. But from signals, it looks like we're going to 28,300. From the open order book here, it looks like we'll probably hit that $27,200 range. So with that in mind, let's grab some liquidity from the markets. Again, if you guys want to come over to the YouTube live stream, I'd appreciate the support over there. AMP predictions. I have no AMP predictions. Let's go in to the 1 minute and see what's good. See if we can't grab our liquidity. So Ethereum, I don't see the good trade setup. You guys know the trade setup at this point. Dream, I see you here. You guys know the good trade setup, so we're going to skim through this, see if we find anything that hits our standards. If not, so be it. I could see maybe Sol. We'll come back to Solana. H-bar, we'll come back to H-bar. That one looks potential. Ooh, XRP kind of looks like it. XRP looks like it's got a good trade setup here for us. What do you think about trading bots for crypto setups? I think it could be good. It just depends on the bot. You have to be careful. There's a lot of scammers when it comes to bots. So be very careful. But, I mean, for something like what I do, truthfully, a bot could probably do it just as good, if not better. So if I could develop a bot, I might. This is weird. BNB has some weird price manipulation there. You see that spike? That was peculiar. Quant looks perfect. Almost. Quant looks pretty perfect. We'll look at XRP and we'll look at Quant more closely. So XRP, what kind of returns are we looking at if we do get something like that? It's only 0.5%, so it's not something that's going to yield us a ton of money here. If we do come up, we got to be paying attention to to XRP here, because both times when we came to the VWAP, we went above by 0.4%. So we need to watch and see if we do that again and then get that confirmation and come back down. So XRP is something we'll probably revisit in like an hour to see where it's at. Quant is looking like it's approaching the VWAP, so we can sit here for a little bit and see if we can't grab a little bit of that liquidity. We want that RSI divergence though. That is the key thing that I think impacts the last few trades. So we were on that hot streak for a couple weeks ago before I went on that little trip. We were on that hot streak and we made a bunch of trades in a row. I was paying a lot of attention to the RSI at that time. Since getting back, I got a little cocky. Wasn't looking at the RSI as heavily, just kind of relying on the pattern rather than the indicators to show the pattern is working. So gotta get back to that. I also was being forced into a trade by my own psyche. Yes, the US is funding both sides of the war. Not confirmed yet, wars. Not totally confirmed, but I mean, it kind of looks like it. We went over it this morning. We are 100% funding Israel. We have been for years, right? We have a constant line of credit open with them, essentially. They're just a constant, like, here's some money. And we have military presence around there, so our influence right there impacts it. And then back in September, we unfroze $6 billion to get 5 American civilians out of Iran. Now Iran is funding the attack on Israel, so it's like kind of sus, right? But come over to the YouTube live stream. It is market open now, so we're gonna play our Viking horn to signal it, and then we're gonna hit some trades, baby. Market open, baby. There it is, at 22 seconds. Yeah! Alright, market open. TikTok, come over to the YouTube live stream. I'm gonna close out the TikTok one. Your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing a little into. Appreciate you all. That was weird having both of them open. I don't know how I felt about that. I got a new follower though. Yeah, Quant just looks good. Quant just looks good to continue to short. I mean, this thing is not holding up at all. We still have that bias to see Quant continue to go down. If we close today down, this might even be a good swing short. Force is over. Yes, exactly, Dream. Don't delete your messages, goddammit. No, I'm just kidding. You do what you want. I'm trying to get people to come over to the YouTube, because TikTok is nice for exposure, but it doesn't have any kind of solid pay structure. So I'm forced to take on sponsorships and stuff like that, which I'm fine doing if I really resonate with the product, but I don't want to feel forced into doing it. YouTube has a pay structure in which I could survive indefinitely without any kind of sponsors. If I have 60,000 people on TikTok who've clicked that follow button. If the same were true here, if I had 30, 40 people watching these live streams, we could do a lot of damage here. Tommy, let's go. Happy to see you here, boss. We're really just, I'm looking for us to stay on one side or the other of the VWAP, right? The volume weighted average price. So this tells me direction for the day. Quant today has been on one side the entire time. We had a little bit of volume spike here, right? You can see the reaction from the VWAP tells me there was a lot of volume here, despite not having volume on my chart, because I don't need volume on my chart when I use the VWAP. This tells me there was a lot of volume here, so a lot of buyers stepped up to the plate here. So that could be a change of direction, but we're not going to fret about it too much, especially where it looks like Bitcoin is switching bearish on the day. It does not look like Bitcoin's going to be holding up too well. We could also check out XRP, but that's more of a longer one. The setup looks like it's going to be a little bit later on today, so we'll keep signals on this one. We'll keep eyes on that one, but we're waiting for Quant here. Hopefully catch a good trade on the live stream. How much potential there? Yeah, we could get a 1% trade going for it. So Josh mentioned it on a video recently, so maybe he's following your lead. Maybe I'm following his lead, Dream. Who knows? I have been live streaming on this YouTube page with my morning trades for quite some time. I just haven't been pushing it on TikTok because I wanted to refine everything, get everything squared away. I wanted to make sure I had a good setup going before I started asking people to come over to it. You found it relatively organically, Dream, and so you've been watching me with the pure chaos for a little bit. But I'm ready here. I think I got a good setup going. Got my green screen in the back so you can't see the mess. Got my microphone right here. I wish the live chat was up in the corner here, but that's okay. That's all right. Okay, so what we're looking for specifically with this, ideally for me, we would have a spike up to the VWAP. All right. Here, let me do the bar pattern here, if I can find it. No, was it on that one? No, it's on this one. They all look the same to my dyslexic looking brain. So ideally, we would see something probably like this again, just repeat the same exact thing, right? Where we come spike up to the VWAP, but the RSI does not spike up back up into here. It does not go higher than it was here. Maybe it peaks into this a little bit, but it does not go higher than it did back here, right? Because then it'll show us that the buyers are losing momentum. When we see that, we're going to enter into a short. I'm going to enter into a short. You have to be weary of this a little bit because the pattern that was this morning was not that same pattern. So it's possible this was a change of direction, but we're not going to operate under that assumption because we're just going to let the charts tell us what's going on. We're not going to try and guess the whole thing. We're going to react rather than anticipate. But who's here with us? Roll call, baby. Roll call. We got 2 new subscribers. Let's go, guys. 6 people watching. Hell yeah. Roll call. We got 11 likes. Come on, ask some questions, gentlemen and ladies. What are you guys interested in? What are your thoughts on everything? Do you want to see that chart on reactions after war again? Because it's pretty... like, the proof is in the pudding. Immediately, that first week, it's a coin toss. The market might go up, the market might go down. There's no telling what's going to happen. The mean says 0.8% drawdown. The median also says a 0.8% drawdown, but it's virtually a coin toss. 1 month after the announcement of an invasion, 2/3 of the time, it's positive returns. So generally speaking, positive returns. The mean, however, is negative 0.4%, which tells us that when it's a downtrend, it's an aggressive downtrend, right? That tells us that the down times are more aggressive. However, the median is 0.3, which tells us that 0.66 or 66% of the time it's going to go up. Here we go. Here we go. Who's your favorite fan and why is it AVAC? I love that truth. I love that. AVAC's the boss, dude. He's been making content on TikTok as well, and he's genius with that because he's making TikTok videos about crypto in Spanish when there's not a lot of people doing that. So he's filling that void in the market. What's your thought on BLZ? I've never heard of BLZ. BLZ crypto. Let's take a little quick analysis here. Blue Zell. All right, so we initially have a market cap here, 100,000, of 53 million, so it's pretty small. The circulating supply versus the total supply. My question for this would be, what is the max supply? If it's infinite, how are they planning to continue to dilute, right? I want to pay attention to that above all else, to be completely honest. Then, after I get a little bit of an understanding for that, I generally try and get an idea of what's going on here. So is a decentralized storage network for the creator economy. That's not something I'm super bullish on, just to be completely honest. I think the market is oversaturated for this type of stuff. Decentralized storage network, that's any blockchain. So that doesn't really do anything for me. Some do it better than others, and I think the people who do it really well already have that market advantage. So newer ones are going to have a hard time getting in there. For the creator economy, I think there's a lot of hiccups. If they can solve those hiccups, then they might have a good opportunity, such as, like, they need the audience there. I like creating content. I'm not going to create content on platforms that just don't have anyone there. It's really hard to get people over there. Yes, you can incentivize them with payments, but generally these creator economy stuff, like the social financial, the SoFi, not social SoFi, but the social, oh my God, the DeSo, it's really difficult because every interaction costs money. So it's hard. Censorship resistant, love it. There could be potential, and where it's something that's really, really small, $50 million market cap, maybe it pumps really hard. It pumped recently here, so they must have had some news going on, but it's already been through almost 2 cycles. So I would watch carefully, tread lightly. Yeah, and this tells me they had good dilution as well. Just based off this, I probably wouldn't spend any more time researching it unless somebody was super unimaginably bullish on it. If someone was super, super bullish on it, I would probably take the time to understand why. But other than that, I would just pass and continue looking. Sorry if you didn't enjoy that answer, but that is my answer. So we're seeing quant starting to come down a little bit. Yeah, sadly, most of the trading depends on what Bitcoin does. Where Bitcoin's falling off a cliff right here. Let's see. I'm short on both of these right now for swing trades, right? So my rationale is pretty strong. I've been pretty consistent with trading Aave and Sol, or at least calling the moves on them both. So I finally entered with a decent position. XRP is continuing to move down, and Quant's probably going to have a little blood action here. We could hop into Quant, but I think I'm going to sit this one out. It doesn't look as beautiful. The first person that actually gave feedback about that question. Appreciate that, bro. Hell yeah, Matthew. Thanks for being here. Thanks for liking the live stream. Thanks for subscribing. You're the man. We got the time, right? The market's not doing anything for our trades, so might as well answer as many questions as possible. That's what I'm here for. Plus, the channel's still very small, right? So when you ask a question, I actually have the time to look into it a little bit more than larger channels, right? Hopefully that doesn't stay that way forever. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly on the lookout for something, right? I'm constantly trying to find investment opportunities in the space. This is my portfolio, my bag holder. You'll see most of them are very small cryptos, right? So something with $50 million market cap, I definitely want to look at. Let's take the time. Well, let's look at the liquidation, see if it's moving at all. No. We're coming down. I do think we're coming down to that 27.2. But we'll see. Let's take the time to, yeah, see, there it is. There it is. A 4.6 EI. So we're going down to 27,160 for Bitcoin. Let's take the time to look at the chart, and I'll explain why I'm short Solana and why I'm short Aave. I mean, just looking at this, you should probably tell immediately why I'm short. We've been range bound on Solana since January. This entire year we've been range bound, aside from this move and this move, okay? But I'm not really worried about that too much. We came to the upper part of the channel, and then we started coming down. Yesterday we started breaking this, right? And so I entered the short. I was watching it carefully because I saw that we put in one high and then a lower high. The RSI started curling over, and we broke below the moving average on the RSI. So, being at the top of the channel, I wanted to try and capitalize off that 10% move to the downside. So, Solana's probably coming back down to 20 bucks, and I want to capitalize on that. I entered in with like 15% of the portfolio on 5x leverage. So, kind of, the 5x leverage is a little bit higher than I like doing for swing trades, but 15% of the portfolio is smaller than I usually trade with. So, it's not too crazy. Aave has just been picture perfect. We've been killing it calling out Aave's moves. I got stopped out on this short, so I didn't get to capitalize on that, but some people did. Some people in the Discord got to capitalize on that. And then we should have traded it all the way back up because we called it coming back up here. We just didn't do that. We did not trade it all the way back up. So now that it's curling back over again, I've entered in one more time in anticipation of us running back down to $53, give or take. And I will take, hopefully. Aave's coming into that wedge, though. So you got to pay close attention to this. It depends where we're at in the market, right? If Bitcoin dominance is pumping, I could see this breaking down. Really, really. I hope it breaks to the upside, but altcoins have just been dying. I got stopped out of Aave and Sol last night. Rip. Yeah, I did not keep the stop losses are not tight on these. They're very, very loose stop losses. I'm sorry you got stopped out, Truth. I did not give any input on stop losses because I don't want all of us piling up in one spot. XRP's dying, dude. XRP's dying. They were also, like, I'm down on both of them right now, just as an FYI. I think I'm close to breaking. Let's look at the phone. Let's look at my phone. Bing X. There was some crypto news we could discuss as well if we wanted to. Like this Friendtech security against SimSwap exploits. So thank God they got 2FA going. I thought initially when I clicked this, I thought that it was a SimSwap attack. And then we got Alameda sparks controversy by minting 2 billion USDT. That's scary. Yeah, I'm down $22 on the trade right now. $23 on the trade right now. I think that yeah, neither of them are in the green. Just so that you are aware. But these are swing trades. I was looking for a good entry point. I didn't really find one. So I jumped into them a little bit too eagerly. Right at this line, actually. And then I think I'd put the line on Aave as well. So I am good at timing the exact bottoms. Yeah, right there. I'm good at timing the bottoms. I just hop in the wrong direction, apparently. I have to go to the bathroom. Can you guys wait? What would you guys like me to put on as so we stay entertained? Would you guys like to just watch this, or do you guys want to watch the chart? Do you guys want to listen to horns being blown while I go to the bathroom? Because I'm gonna explode. Curious to see how this all plays out. I am very curious to see. It's an unfortunate reality that we live in, where war drives our economy. War literally drives the United States economy. Look at that. We started immediately going up. It's really not something I enjoy seeing. I'm curious how the VIX responded, actually. So this is the volatility index. So the VIX is going to spike anytime the market goes down, but in actuality, it's measuring the volatility. It's just that usually movements to the downside are more volatile. The price of the VIX is derived based off of how many puts versus calls are in the market. So it's literally like a ratio between puts to calls. And the more people pick up puts, the more people are expecting volatility, so they call it the volatility index. Create a short playlist of your own shorts to play during the bathroom breaks. That's smart. That's smart. Here, we could go. We'll go to my page and I'll just let a video or two play. You guys want to watch the video that has drawn the most engagement to my channel, yet also the most hate that I've ever seen? People just fundamentally not understanding what I'm talking about. This video right here. H-bar is uninvestable. You guys can watch this while I go to the bathroom. Hopefully it autoplays. Drinking on the job.
I genuinely feel bad for anyone who has invested into H-bar over a year ago. You have been diluted out of existence and probably don't even realize it. I just made this tweet today and it's blowing my mind how many people don't understand what I mean. 2 years ago, the price was 25 cents. Now it's 6 cents. However, 2 years ago, the market cap was 2 billion and now it is still 2 billion. The market cap, or the price of the overall project, stayed the same. However, the token price is down by 75%. The market cap is what you're paying for a project, and the price of a coin is just the market cap divided by how many coins there are. So if you increase the number of coins like Hedera did by 300%, the price of a coin is going to fall by 75%. Even though your bullish thesis is still playing out, you lost 75%. I genuinely feel bad for anyone who has invested into HBAR over a year ago. You have been diluted out of existence and probably don't even realize it. I just made this tweet today and it's blowing my mind how many people don't understand what I mean. 2 years ago, the price was 25 cents. Now it's 6 cents. However, 2 years ago, the market cap was 2 billion and now it is still 2 billion. The market cap, or the...
Bird wants to say hi. He broke into the room while I was in the bathroom break. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Look at how many... can I show you guys the analytics of this without sharing too much of my stuff? 228 comments. All coins are down 90 or 75%. And rule number 1, don't trust long-haired junkies. HBAR is a beast, don't worry about the market cap. What? Jeremy, that's actually kind of retarded. The video is not going to age well. Let's see how well it's aged. Everyone was shitting on that so aggressively, and it just shows me how dumb most people are in the market. It really does. I have money in HBAR. How long ago was that? 6 months ago. This video is not going to age well. Let's go to 1 year, and what was the price 6 months ago? And so we're down. So even though I wasn't doing any price analysis, I wasn't doing any price prediction, I was purely talking about the past, he still thought that I was talking about price analysis. And even in that scenario, it's down. It's down like 30%. So pound some sand, dude. Dumbass people. I'm shocked. I thought that I explained this as if you're literally 3 years old. I thought my cat could understand what I was saying here. But no. That's good, a content idea, scrolling through comments and reacting. I honestly might do that. That's actually genius. I'm doing that today. I'm gonna lose my mind on a stream. Do you think TikTok or YouTube? That might be funny for YouTube. TikTok probably. Simply Red, haven't noticed it's a bear market. Yeah, it's worse for you guys though, because you're getting diluted. Every project is down, dude. It's a bear market. HBAR has more potential than any other crypto, and now processes now transactions per day than all other cryptos combined. No, it does not. That is the stupidest thing in the world for someone to say. 30 people agreed with that. There are 30 morons out there who agree with that statement. Bro, get out of this space. I'm so serious. If you don't understand what I said during this video, index funds are right here. Don't worry, it's okay. There's no shame in it. If you don't understand what I said in that video, this is a much better option for you. Just being honest. You'll grow your money. You don't got to worry about stuff. You don't have the... That's right. That's right. There's no need to insult them. I was going to say they're stupid, but they're just ignorant. And ignorance can be fixed. Stupidity cannot be fixed. We should short HBAR. We should short HBAR. I don't know that we'll get the chance to enter into anything today. Yeah, that just pulled straight back. So we had our opportunity there for a little bit, but it didn't hit all the requirements. And now it looks like we're going to continue to climb up. So I'll keep watching this and I'll keep it posted in the Discord. But we went the exact opposite way with that spike. Is there anything else that's looking juicy? Otherwise, I'm going to go make some breakfast because my stomach hurts. And it's Squatober day 10 today, which is going to absolutely annihilate me. The workout today is grueling. Absolutely gruesome. Solana low-key looks like we should be going long on it for a day trade, but I'm not going to. I'm hoping, not really hoping, but we broke below the VWAP here. So we could have been trending up today right here, but we broke below, and it looks like now we're gonna start coming back down. So this would probably be a decent entry point had I waited to enter into the short. H-bar looks bullish, to be honest. Kind of similar to Solana, where we could see a breakdown. XRP is bearish. Aptos isn't respecting it. Arbitrum's not respecting it. BNB is being heavily manipulated right now by insiders trying to prop up the price. BNB is screwed. To every capacity of it, BNB is screwed. We're going straight down. This might be one of the best shorting opportunities out there, to be completely honest. Let's check this out real quick. Let's check this out on the longer time frame. We'll go 4 hours. So it's been falling. This is the only problem that I have with signals. It takes too fucking long to load any of it. Like, I want to know, are there open things down here? Stop just like not showing me. And why can't I collapse this down? I don't want 10-cent intervals. Oh. Shut your mouth. You guys, shut your mouths, huh? I don't need that harassment. That's mean. You guys are being mean with that. Yeah, I don't... They're still not loading anything. Alright. Let's get it. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing into. I appreciate you guys for being here with me on today's live stream. I think we popped off today. Despite not being able to open a trade today, we popped off. I'm going to keep an eye on Quant and XRP to see if we can open a trade eventually, but I'm not going to spend all day in front of it. This is our window for trading, and we didn't catch anything. So I will see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, in anticipation of the market opening. Let's get it, guys.